So one of my favourite techniques is to overwinter little brassicas so that I get a nice early harvest in spring. And I've got quite a range here, so I've got some marathon calabrese, some Orkney cauliflowers, some red cabbages. I've got another succession of red cabbages here and another succession of Orkney cauliflowers there. And I've got one final succession actually, which I just sowed yesterday. So I think that was the 26th of October. So I'm just going to show you how I pop them on. So here's a little tray of floppy little red cabbages. And so what I want to do is I'll start with something that looks like that. I'll take off the lower leaves so I'll get a nice stem, and I want to plant up to this leaf junction here, so I end up with something like that, and that will stay in that pot now probably until February, and then it'll get planted out in one of my low tunnels probably for a nice early harvest, and I'll take the low tunnel top off and just leave it with a bit of fleece in probably April time. And the compost that I'm using here is actually just spent potato compost. It's not quite alkali enough for cabbages, so I've added a bit of lime to it and a bit of bloodfish and bone, and I give it a good press down because I want these really well supported, and yeah, I'm really happy with those. It's possible, depends on how fast they grow, that I might need to pot these on again, but hopefully not. But you know, I don't mind occasionally a little bit of potting on. I like to do lots of successions. I don't like any of my veg to kind of all come together. I'm much more interested in a nice continuous harvest of fresh food every week of the year. Oops. And you'll notice that I'm not actually going to use that one because I've got some spares here. Yeah, you'll notice that I've got some moss on the tops of these because I'm burying that moss. I don't really care about it, but if you were leaving it or you had a mossy surface in general, then just break it up with your finger and just let the surface dry out a bit. And so that's where bottom watering might be your friend. Leave the surface dry and you probably won't get any moss problems. So yeah, pretty happy with these. They have got a tiny bit of whitefly, but yeah, I'm not so worried about that really. Just watch out for spare potatoes when you're using spent potato compost. Lovely. So there we go, all finished. I did end up using that spare one because I found another pot. So what I will probably end up doing is maybe in this spinach bed, for example, I will harvest 5 plants and then interplant into that bed in February, keep harvesting the spinach through March. Obviously by then all these salad onions will have been harvested as well, and then eventually as the red cabbage grows I will harvest all of the spinach to make room for it.